Hello. Welcome to Eye of the Storm, everyone. I hope this works. Hi, Brianna. Hi, Shay. Hi, Erin. Hello, everyone. Just waiting for my beautiful co-host. And here she comes. Hi, sweetie.
I have no idea what's going on with technology today.
So for some odd reason, it says that I'm not part of Chad's group.
Which doesn't make sense because I went live in the Daughters Bound page and
But
I could see
it
it.
didn't show up on the Daughters Heaven Bound page. I had to go to Chad.
But that's what didn't make sense to me because I could see it on the Daughters Heaven Bound page from my phone.
Hey, it's a perfect day for this to happen. Technology triggers people.
Yes, and our topic is triggers. And today I'm pretty triggered, so I guess let's get into it. um, so I'm gonna sing again because nobody heard me and I
Love your
like to
voice.
sing anyways. So we're still gonna start off with Eye of the Storm song. We do not own the rights to the song. It's just a song that goes well with everything. I just have to make sure skip the rest of the stuff on here because ain't nobody want to hear the commercials.
I love you.
Love you. All right. So here we go. Take three. In the eye of a storm, you remain in control. In the middle of the war, you got my soul. You alone are the anchor when my sails are torn. Your love surrounds me in the eye of the storm. When the solid ground is falling down from underneath my feet, between the black skies and my red eyes, I can barely see. When I realize I've been sold out by my friends and my family, I can feel the rain reminding me. In the eye of the storm, you remain in control. In the middle of the war, you got my soul. You alone are the anchor when my sails are torn. Your love surrounds me in the eye of the storm. When my hopes and dreams are far from me and I'm running out of faith, I see the future in a picture, it slowly fades away. When the tears of pain and the heartache are pouring down my face, I find the peace in Jesus' name. In the eye of the storm, you remain in control. In the middle of the war, you got my soul. You alone are the anchor when my sails are torn. Your love surrounds me in the eye of the storm.
Very beautiful. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to start off by reading the verses for the subject.
Yes.
The first verse is 2 Timothy 1:7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of sound mind. The second verse is 1 John 4:18. There is no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear because fear has to do with punishment. The one who fears is not made perfect and loved. Romans 8:31. What then shall we say in response to this? If God is for us, who is against us? And Psalms 23:4. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. That one's my favorite.
Me too. Triggers. It's a very serious topic. It can trigger many people to talk about triggers, but it's important to talk about. And it's the perfect day to talk about them because a lot of people today seem pretty triggered. So let's get into the details. Triggers in mental health is basically what that is when you have stimuli that are activating to an intense level, and that level causes emotional and physiological responses within your body. It is linked to trauma, it's linked to stress, it's linked to anxiety, it's linked to addictions of all kinds, and it's also linked to unresolved issues. Now, what happens to your brain during a trigger? So, a trigger, think of it as a neuro shortcut. It's a shortcut that happens in your brain. So, let's say something over here is causing a trigger. It's going to bounce around and cause your entire body to overreact. Your amygdala is your threat detector. So when that becomes activated, that turns into that part of your brain activating your stress hormones. And that stress hormone that gets activated is your cortisol. Once your cortisol skyrockets, then your nervous system goes into what we call and excuse me while I say this because it's a little bit of a tongue twister for me, the fight, flight, freeze, and fawn methods, which we discussed in our previous live. Now, your prefrontal cortex, that's where you do all of your logical thinking. So basically, that totally short circuits when you are experiencing a trigger. And that causes you to overreact. It causes your entire body to feel disproportioned and extremely overwhelmed. It can cause a lot of sweating. It can cause disassociation. It can cause screaming. You honestly have no idea what the trigger itself is going to do within your body because everybody reacts to them differently.
My joints
So,
are start
yeah.
feeling painful.
Yeah, like it takes a lot of different triggers for me in general, like multiple in a row, before my body will start to basically almost mimic a seizure. It's not a seizure, but it mimics one, which is still
That
pretty
was the
scary.
one.
So a trigger is not an excuse for any sort of harmful behavior at all. A trigger is something other people need to learn about so that when they see other people being triggered, they can help them find ways to prevent that trigger from happening. A trigger is a form of valid information. It is your body's social and physical cue to try to find a way to self regulate And because your body can't self-regulate at that time, it causes your body to basically fry and malfunction. But it's perfect for learning opportunities. When you have a trigger, over time, you'll start to realize what is specifically causing those triggers to happen. And then you can take a step back and start thinking about what you can do specifically to help regulate your body during a triggered episode. And if you're struggling to do so, maybe call a friend or contact somebody in your house if somebody's there with you who, understands that you can be triggered and can kind of guide you through that to try to calm you down. There's a lot of different kinds of things that can trigger you. There's external triggers. External triggers are all environmental. So it could be a specific person. It could be a location. Hospitals. Hospitals are a big one for a lot of people for many different reasons, including courtrooms. Both of those for me right here. But also, if you're a person who's trying to recover, going past a bar, or going past a liquor store, or going past that one house that you used to go to, get what you need to help you in that time, which honestly doesn't help you at all. It just stalls the process. But that's addiction for you. Certain sounds can trigger you. Certain smells can trigger you. And for me, what's really weird is not all triggers are fully bad. It depends on how you learn to react to that trigger happening. Because I could be triggered by the smell of my uncle's perfume or cologne. But even though it makes me sad for a moment and I start thinking about negative things, I can quickly turn that into something positive and just try to focus on that smell in general versus the thing as a whole. It takes time to do, but it is possible. It's trying to differentiate all of those extra thoughts in your head to just, okay, that smells good. And just try to leave it at that. It takes time, but it is possible. Certain anniversaries can be triggering. I was in a very bad abusive relationship for many years. When that date of our anniversary comes about, I'm not okay that day. It brings up way too many memories, way too many emotions. And if I don't want to be triggered that entire day, I'm making phone calls most of the day to try to distract my mind. And then there's internal triggers. Internal triggers such as all of your memories, all of your thoughts like, I'm not good enough. Why didn't I do that right? I feel ashamed. I feel angry. I feel fearful. Your physical sensations turn into fatigue issues where you're like, I don't want to eat. I can't eat anything at all. Or the complete opposite, which is, I'm very emotional. I'm not going to stop eating. And then you eat all day. So there's a spectrum when it comes to the physical sensations part of triggers, including pain level. A lot of people don't just experience emotional pain, they feel the pain. Your body starts to shake or literally feel sore. I have a lot of physical issues. So all of my physical issues heighten to extreme levels when I'm feeling triggered. Now, before I continue, I will let Brittany do some talking.
Thank you. One of the main things about triggers that I have noticed is, first of all, once you have figured out your triggers, it's a lot easier to avoid them if you can. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes it's something you have to deal with every single day. I know me personally, sometimes when somebody touches me, that triggers me. I can't go into the alcohol section of a grocery store because I get scared that I'm going to start drinking again.
Mm.
I get nervous when it's raining or snowing when I'm in a vehicle because my brain automatically goes to, I'm going to get in a car accident. On the days that I've lost somebody, my brain automatically goes, I'm going to lose everybody. These are all triggers for me. Some of them I can avoid, some of them I can't.
Mm.
But when you find the ones you can avoid them. And it'll make you feel better or learn how to face them. Bring a friend along with you when you go to the store and be like, I need to stand in the alcohol section for a few minutes. That way, when I go to the store, I won't be triggered by this anymore. That's called exposure therapy. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
work for everybody, but it does work for some.
Yes. And exposure therapy itself, it's supposed to be scary. That's the point of it. But the point is to overcome that sense of fear so that you are no longer triggered by whatever's going on around you. I do that pretty much when I go in the car in the wintertime because I was in a really bad car accident. So when the weather is really, really bad and I have no choice but to be in a car, I'm like this. I'm looking down, I'm looking into my phone, and I'm trying to distract myself. And if that doesn't work, I'm calling Miss Brittany up here. I'm going to give her a call and say, hey, I'm freaking out, man. The weather is too much for me. Can you talk to me?
That's
So it's
usually what we think.
it's important to have a good friend that you can count on when you're feeling overstimulated, overwhelmed, and potentially leading to further triggers. It's important to find that one person that you can talk to help calm you down or to re-regulate you in general. Common areas where triggers tend to show up is for people who have post-traumatic stress disorder or complex post-traumatic stress disorder. And I have both.
Me too.
Anxiety disorders, which there are several, but the two biggest ones for anxiety disorder are generalized anxiety disorder, which is worrying every day.
That's what I have,
I also have that. And the other form is just, panic attack disorder,
which I
where,
experience.
yeah, whereas I also have panic attacks. They're not as frequent as they used to be. Mine used to happen every single day when I was younger, but as I've gotten older, I've, learned a lot of different things to help get me through them.
You
But the
also know
main thing, exactly, the main thing I know is call Brittany, I'm freaking out. But hey, you do what you got to do to get by, It's important to learn what your triggers are. Other things that can cause triggers for different types of things is substance use. That is a big one that can cause a lot of different triggers. It can cause triggers while you're doing it. It can cause triggers before and after you're doing them, but it also can cause triggers when you're trying to be in recovery, when you're trying to work on your sobriety and you're trying to work on overcoming that drug addiction. You are still going to find ways that are going to trigger you. Unfortunately, triggers are a part of everyday life for some people. And for
It,
those
it,
people, we got to learn how to get through it.
it's just a matter of coping and avoiding.
Mm-hmm. Certain things that can cause triggers are attachments. Attachments to people, places, and things. And the last thing that can cause triggers is all forms of grief. There are 16 forms of grief. I'm not going to get into all of them. That is just crazy and will take way too much time. So I'm just going to leave it at that.
We may talk about that in a future episode.
Yes, definitely a future episode, but not today. That would probably take up 4 hours. So healthy ways to cope and manage your triggers. The first thing is learning awareness and being able to track your patterns. By doing this, you're asking yourself questions. Okay, what just happened? How did that make me feel? What did I think about that in general? And what can I do about it? Now, you might not be able to ask all of those questions during your freak out moments, and that's perfectly okay. After you've been able to calm yourself down and move forward, you can practice learning the awareness and remind yourself of those questions so that eventually, when you are going to be triggered, you can learn to utilize, even if it's just one of those questions at a time, can be very, very helpful. The next one is grounding techniques, which I know Brittany can say a lot about those. So I will let her speak about some grounding techniques.
Well, the one I usually go to first is going to my support persons, people. That's my husband and Bella. Then I will listen to gospel music or read my Bible because the Lord can get you through anything.
That's right.
And if that doesn't work, I meditate.
Mm-hmm.
There's something called 8D music that helps too. It plays music in both of your ears at separate times, which makes your brain only focus on the music. There's also 9D breathing, which is very, very helpful as long as you're patient enough to watch the videos on it, because you do have to be trained.
Mm.
But I will always go back to spending time with God because He gets me through everything.
Mm-hmm. There's other grounding techniques that you can do. The 5-4-3-2-1 method, which is focusing on all of your senses. And then there's one of my favorites, which is deep diaphragmatic breathing. And I do that in 3 different ways. When I'm doing my diaphragmatic breathing, what I like to do is, yes, you put one hand on your heart, one hand on your chest, and you focus on that sensation of your body while you're breathing, feeling the air going in and out of your body. I like to do that on the floor, laying down with my back on the floor. And then I'll do that where I'm laying on my side. And then I do it again while my stomach and my hands are actually on the floor. And my back is facing the top of the ceiling. And so I do it that way so I can get all of my extra senses going at once. And it takes a lot of concentration and focus. Another thing that you can do is use of cold water or ice, putting it on the back of your neck, putting it on your forehead, just sometimes putting it on like your wrist, right? Putting it right there on your wrist. Sometimes if little amounts of water like that don't work, you can just literally put your entire face in an extremely cold temperature water, because that will distract your body quite a bit to the point where you forget about all of those triggers going on because you're too cold. One of the things that I like to do when I'm at the store, yes, sour candy. Exactly. Um, when I'm at the store, I can get triggered sometimes. So what I like to do is I play the name game with all of the items in the store. I'm looking around, okay, I'm going past the fruit section. How many fruits can I name? Blah, 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 blah. But sour candy. Brittany, do you want to discuss the sour
Yeah.
candy?
It's scientifically proven that if you eat sour candy while you're anxious or panicking, that you can't do both. The sour candy will take all the anxiety out of you because you can't focus on anything but the sour candy. I keep sour candy with me at all times because I have such bad anxiety.
It really does work. I had my doubts about it at first. I'm like, what? No, I like sour candy too much. Like that can't be. But then I tried it when I was like really, really anxious, and I'm like, oh wait, sour. Okay. And I started feeling a little bit better. So
Now,
number
for
three,
people with diabetes, they probably could use lemon or something because I'm
yes,
sure there's way too much sugar and sour candy.
yes, lemon and lime definitely. So number three is cognitive reframing. That means you're challenging your automatic thoughts. So you're thinking, okay, what is this current danger that I'm experiencing? Why am I feeling this sense of danger? Is it because of what's actually happening right now? Or is it because of something that happened in the past? And then the other question you can ask yourself is there any evidence that supports my thoughts? What evidence is supporting the fact that I'm feeling the way that I'm feeling right now? Then there's number four. Number four is your nervous system regulation. I like to do paired muscle relaxation. You can do that on YouTube. It's very helpful. It's a little lengthy, but it's very helpful. It literally goes from the tip of your head down to the tip of your toes. And the person's explaining to you what to tense up and when to release. So that's another thing that can be very helpful. And if you're just having too many constant thoughts, Leaves on a Stream is also very helpful. Now, you can focus on your slow breathing. You can go for a walk. You can pray and meditate. And then again, finding that safe connection with a person that you trust besides God. God is important, yes, and He will help you through what you're experiencing. But it's also important to have another person with you, a friend that you can count on, that you can trust, that also believes in God. So you guys can work together as a team to get through whatever you're experiencing.
And in all fairness, sometimes you need that other person to remind you to lean on God because
Mm-hmm.
you're panicking, when you're anxious, when you're scared, your brain is only focused on panic, anxiousness, and scared.
That's right. So then there's the professional support part for experiencing triggers, and that would be, and these are abbreviations: ACT, CBT, then there's DBT, and EMDR. All of those abbreviations are different forms of therapy that you can look up on your own time and learn more about them. But I'm sure at some point we will actually have a live dedicated just to those. Maybe the next one, maybe one after that. Not quite sure yet. But I will go over them one more time. Abbreviations: ACT. The next one is CBT. Then you have DBT. And the last one is EMDR. Again, all of those are certain abbreviations of different types of therapies. Now, you can find a therapist to work on all of those things, but you can also just look them up. There are free classes that you can take, and there's a couple of different websites to do it on, where they teach you how to utilize those different types of therapies without actually having to leave your house. So if you're the type of person that has a hard time leaving your house because you can't drive, or because you have too much anxiety, or you're agoraphobic, or all of the above, or something else entirely, whatever your issues are, if you're having a hard time and you can't leave that house at the moment, just Google it. Look up those abbreviations, and you will find tons of different websites that you can utilize that will teach you how to do those different types of therapies. So, triggers, they can happen at any time. They can cause a lot of issues. But ultimately, once you learn what those triggers are, you can start focusing on how to reduce them a little bit at a time. It does take time. For some people, it can take years. For other people, it could take a couple months.
And it
But
really does depend on the fear, too.
exactly, it depends on the level of intensity you're feeling. And it also just depends on your mental health issues as well. Because if you have multiple mental health diagnoses, it's going to take you a lot longer to get through learning about what all of your triggers are, because anything can do it. I was triggered, and I've talked about this multiple times before in different lives because it kind of amuses me now. But my fiance made me a spice rack. And he was so excited and so proud of himself because he made this awesome spice rack for me to put all my spices on. And I saw it and I freaked out. And when I mean I freaked out, I freaked out. I could not stand it. I looked at it and I started analyzing it. I analyzed the color of it. I analyzed the fact that I couldn't match anything up the way I wanted to match it up. I couldn't put all of my certain spices in a certain area. I couldn't put all of my herbs in a certain area. I couldn't put all my baking stuff in a certain area. Everything had to be all over the place. There was no organization to it. That triggered my OCD. That triggered my past abusive relationships because they were very controlling. So because they were controlling, I was trying to control the situation that was happening in front of my face, and it caused me to panic extremely. But here's the but. I was able to notice at that point that it triggered me, which kind of made me happy because I was able to identify, oh my gosh, I learned one of my triggers while it was happening. That's improvement. Yay. But then I had to look at my fiance and see him there looking all flustered and upset because he was trying to do something nice for me. And I had to say, I can't go in this kitchen anymore. I can't go in this kitchen for the rest of the night. You did a good job. I'm not mad at you. I appreciate that you made this for me. But if I walk into that kitchen today it's not going to be pretty. I'm not going to be able to handle it. So I'm going to stay out of the kitchen today. If I need something, you're going to have to get it for me. But just know it's not your fault. This is something I got to work through. This is something that I need to focus on, how to move past. That spice rack is still hanging in my kitchen. I look at it every day, and now I just laugh. I just laugh. That thought will come up in my head where the first time I saw it, and now I just laugh like, okay, whatever. I'm gonna cook now. So I just wanted to share that example with all of you. Do you have
Thank
anything
you.
else to say?
No, I think we covered it all.
Is there anybody that wants to pop on or anything that you've noticed? Because I can't see anything. So,
I haven't gotten any requests,
okay.
but if you want to, send me a request and I'll bring you in.
Yeah, if anybody wants to join, has any experiences that they want to share, you're more than welcome to. If not, that's perfectly okay. We're just glad that you're joining us and listening to triggers and being able to, get through this topic is very important. And
So
also to just remember at the end of the day, God's got your back.
I was putting the therapy methods in. I got ACT, DBT, EMDR. I
CBT. Yep.
CBT.
Yep, CBT.
I wanted everybody to have access to this. So I put it in the chat.
Perfect.
All
Thank you.
right, let's see if this works.
All right.
It's saying adding.
Let's see.
Oh dear Lord, please let it work.
There's got to be a way we can try to figure that out so we can get her on.
I
I don't
know.
know if there's
It's just
something.
saying adding.
I don't know if there's something we have to do on our end or if it's something she has to do complaint wise on her end, but it would be
It's,
so awesome to have her join.
yeah, if it doesn't let her in, I'm gonna try to send her an invite.
Okay.
See if it works that way.
But yeah, so triggers can happen at any time, and it's important to learn how to identify them. Again, it does take time, it does take patience. You have to learn to be patient with yourself and learn to just put that trust and that faith in God because ultimately he's got your back. You just have to be willing to hear him and be willing to read the word and just lean into it completely.
Nope, not working. Sorry, Teresa. We really gotta figure this out, love.
Yes, definitely.
Jessica wants to pop in.
Oh yay. Yes, let's get some people on here. It's so exciting. Hopefully it works.
It says you're.
Gotta love technological issues. We're having a lot of them today. It can be triggering, but we're getting through it.
Yeah. So you got a story about triggers, love?
Yeah, I'm kind of dealing with one right now.
Yeah, I've been dealing with some today myself. Feel free to talk to us.
My son was outside working on his truck, and our neighbor across the street's kid walked over to him. Mind you, my son was minding his own business, and the cop said to the kid, said to my son, "What did you and your mother do? Call the fucking cops on me? Your mom's a blankety blank fat cow."
Wow.
So I just had 9 cop cars and 2 sheriff's cars at my house.
Oh my goodness. That's insane.
Now, Bella and Brittany both know my mom has called me fat cow and other names before.
Mm-hmm.
So to hear that, I was like, oh, okay.
You got
Yeah.
trauma response, love?
Yeah, I have my fidget toys and I was doing my deep breathing, but I don't think it was as scary. The part that really scared me was when you see 9 cruisers show up at your house with sirens
Yeah,
and lights
yeah,
flaring and
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Especially
I'm
when
a
you
good
can't
person.
handle those lights in general. That's a lot of lights.
Yeah, there was 4 town cars and then a couple of sheriff's cars.
Wow.
Yeah, you see,
So
I behave, and cops freak me out. So
I was just like, okay. I'm like, you're fine, Jess. You're safe. Just breathe. And I'm just like, okay. Fine.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the one cop that came up to me was a bigger, heavier cop. So it was like reminding me of my dad a bit. And I'm just like, can you just stop today already?
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Triggers are affecting a lot of people today.
mhm.
I wouldn't have been so bad if it was maybe only 1 or 2 cars, but I was like 9 cruisers. I'm like,
Yeah. That seems a bit extensive.
because he threatened both me and my son. That's why.
Right.
So
Why were the cops originally there?
because my son called the cops when
Uh,
the kid threatened me and him.
Mm.
no, I mean, why did he threaten you?
We don't know.
Just because
All
sometimes
my son,
people are mean.
all my son was doing was sitting in my driveway with his best friend, working on his truck to get his truck up and running and fixed before we get the 18 to 24 inches of snow we're going to get with this blizzard that they're calling for. And my son was just literally outside minding his own business, and the kid walked out of his house and said that to Garrett.
People can be so rude sometimes. And I think that's mostly because, one, they weren't raised properly, but also they have so many issues themselves that they just don't want to focus on them. So they decide to
Yeah.
take it out on other people, which
I'm
isn't right
literally
either.
sitting here. I'm literally sitting here with my fidget cube and my little stress toys in my hand, and I'm just playing with them right now just to kind of,
Yeah.
what's that word I want to use? Desensitize myself?
Right. Yeah.
I
Exactly.
put my candle on in my room, and I am in my room right now.
Well, I've been anxious today. I've been sucking on freaking sour gummy worms all day.
And you see this blanket right here? This blanket is my emotional support dog's blanket who passed away. And I've had an emotional and crazy day
Okay.
so far since I've woken up. So I've been keeping this close by me. And I also have fidget toys that I utilize as well. They're
So
very
what is
handy.
this? Is this the calm before a blizzard happens? I mean, seriously.
Right. It's that famous phrase lately that just seems to be coming out of the woodworks all the time. It's the calm before the storm, and then when the storm comes, you gotta work your way through it.
In the eye of the storm.
Exactly, in the
Yeah,
eye
I
of the
guess so.
storm.
I guess so. I'm like, I couldn't find the live at first. I'm like, where's Bella and Brittany? I need my Bella and Brittany. Where
Yeah,
are they right
we're
now?
having our technical difficulties trying to get on. I tried getting on 3 different times, and that didn't work.
I'm like, I
And so
need
then
Bella.
Brittany got on.
And then it
I
makes matters worse. I fell again this morning. I fell this morning outside, so that was another trigger. I'm like, really?
Mm-hmm.
You know what you should do? Try to lay back and relax today. Get yourself some emotional support food.
I would recommend maybe a heating pad for the legs.
And
Yeah.
Remember to keep cleaning your wound.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. Jerry wants to buy me a truckload of bubble wrap.
I want to buy you a bucket.
Put you in a bubble. I could go for one of those myself.
Yeah,
I'm very clumsy. But
Just
yeah.
I'm just like, when I saw this morning, I'm like, oh dear. I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, I know who 2 people are I gotta call. I'm like, if they find out every other way, I'm gonna be in trouble.
You gotta have your support system.
And then, of course, I messaged my doctor, and he's like, clean it with hydrogen peroxide, rubbing alcohol if you need it after. He goes, you got antibacterial ointment, you got some other stuff at the house. He goes, just try not to get put in the hospital during the storm, please. He goes, just make it till Tuesday. I'm like, okay.
Right. And then, when it comes down to it, right now in the world, there's a lot of people who've been through way too many things.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems to be a continuous pattern. Now, one of the things that I've noticed specifically is, those of us who are new to our journey of the Lord and reading the Bible, even if we've, had briefs of it in the past, we're new to it again now because you're always learning and you're always growing. But the stronger our faith gets in God, there's going to be trials because, the evil, it doesn't like us to be successful. It doesn't like us to continue our faith. But faith is what helps us get through the day.
Yep.
That faith in God and leaning on Him and His words is a lot more helpful than I've ever realized. Like this year, it was like almost like a really big slap in the face for me. Like, you have a lot of issues, yes, and you've been working on them for years, yes, but you're still missing one key factor.
I'm going to be honest, guys. In the end, there's one person who's always going to be there to rescue you.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Yep. Every time.
What's that song, The Man Upstairs?
Have you talked to the man upstairs? He wants to hear from you.
Yeah.
Talk to the man upstairs. He will always see you through. And if trouble ever troubles you, now don't you run and hide.
Yep, exactly. Exactly.
Well, Jessica, it was really great talking with you. I think we should probably get to our song.
Yes, let's play this song to end this off.
I don't think you guys want to hear the ad.
Yeah, try to avoid that if you can.
What I'm going to do. Hold on. For some reason, wants to play from the middle of the song.
It drives me crazy when that happens.
I know that I like that song, but,
Oh, and Jessica Teresa says she's sorry you had to go through that.
I'm not here. Never been a moment you were forgotten. You are not holding. So I hear it's true.
I will rescue you.
distant. Because you're not defensive. After you wrong. Your breath. I hear you whisper you have nothing.
All right.
Would you like to close in a prayer?
So, sure. Thank you, Lord, for bringing us together to be able to have these lives and share the word about you, Lord, but also help your word be relatable to others during certain situations in their life and relating it to mental health. But Lord, I just appreciate everything that you do for all of us. And I ask that you continue to guide us, to place your hands upon us and lead us as often as possible anytime we start to feel astray. Triggers are very, very powerful, Lord, but I know that we can all get through them as long as we put that faith and trust in you. So just keep being patient with us on our journeys the best you can, but also remind us to have patience as well along the way to get through the troubles that we are experiencing, but to also, again, just reminding us to turn to you, because that is the most important thing. And Lord, I'd like to just also lift up Jessica while we have her here on the phone with us doing this live, who shared some of her issues today. I'd like to lift her up in spirit, body, and mind, Lord. Just cover her from the tip of her head down to her toes, ease her pain, and help her get through the next couple of days with this crazy weather. Just help her body to not be inflamed and help her so that she can heal and be able to get the tasks done that she needs to around the house, and to be able to continue to spend time with her son, Lord. And so thank you for having Brittany being able to do these lives with me every Sunday to honor your word, but to also inform the others who are listening as well. And a big shout out to Jen and Melissa for allowing us to have these lives on Daughters Heaven Bound. And again, to just share your word, Lord, because your words are so important and so valuable. So thank you for another day. And thank you for all of these ladies who are a part of this group. And thank you to all of the men who have popped in to listen to the lives, to hear the word of you, Lord, because that's also important too. We don't want to single anybody out because your word is valuable to all people. And we all need to hear it and experience it. So thank you, Lord, for everything that you have done for us and will continue to do works within us. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and we will see you next week, Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.